Hello traders and welcome to another technical analysis video brought to you by Orbex.com. You're now surfing the waves with Richard. Today what I decided to do is to do a follow-up on my previous articles posted on the Orbex blog and also point you out towards a couple of things because the dollar indeed had a bullish rally. So what I'm going to be discussing is basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow up on the articles, on the previously posted articles that is, because after all, what's the point of making an analysis if it doesn't work out, right? So with it, with this, let's say, with this, I will take this opportunity to update also the wave counts and let you guys know what's on my mind. So let's go without further ado. Let's jump straight into it here. Now, let's say for instance, let's say on April 12th and 13th of April, and then 20th of April. This is actually an invitation for the webinar. We'll discuss this for later on. Now, let's go basically on this article, which was posted on the 12th, let's say this one, 12th of April. Today is the 23rd of April, by the way. Okay, so let's just see. Now, what I did here is basically I noticed um, a volatility possibly decreasing in the VIX, the volatility index, right? The CBOE volatility index, as you can actually see here. So yeah, basically, there was, I mean, during, I mean, the past 2, 3 weeks, there was a lot of, geopolitics involved, trade war talks, a lot, which all translates into volatility. So basically, this basically, let's say, for instance, on a dollar index, I noticed a possibility for a possible bullish outcome, right, towards the upside. Now, on the euro dollar, for instance, I noticed a possibility for more downside to come. Uh, Pound dollar the same, as it was forming a possible double top right here. And gold on the bearish side, there is silver on the bearish side. This one surprised. We'll go into it a little bit. And crude oil, of course, in this rising channel. Now, all these technicals actually posted on the April 12th. Yeah. Now, let's say, for instance, if I go to the next article, which is surfing the waves. This was a video. Yeah. This is where I'm basically explaining to you guys. Not to mention that I'm explaining and pointing out how I was able to, what was, going through my mind when I was able to call each and every swing of this complex corrective structure right here. Yeah, not to mention the December um, downtrend on dollar index. Yeah, so this in this video, I mean, I'm basically pointing out how I call the top, I mean, how I call the bottom here, the top here, bottom, top, again and again, and downtrend. And anyway, the video is right there, you can actually see it for yourself. Now let's pay attention here. Now what I'm basically displaying is the possibility for a bullish outcome on this ending diagonal possible scenario at this point of interest, and also at these fibs. Yeah. So right after that, let's say I'm just gonna squeeze through it a little bit. All right, this is the pound Swiss, which actually started turning, let's say, towards the downside. Again, some technicals on the dollar index right here, and there we go. That's when everything starts. I mean, the um, gold, yeah, let's say XAU USD, explaining a possible bearish scenario right here. Following up with, let's say, XAG. Again, some technicals right here. Euro USD, after it climbed a bit towards the upside. And I'm gonna go through each and every one of these charts and also update and keep up with the technicals, get you guys nice and ready for this week, which is expected to be very volatile. Let's say crude oil right here when I'm explaining this possible rise, and then consolidation right here, the divergence. Yeah, and yeah, completing this video with the pound US dollar right here on this possible ending diagonal. So basically as a possible double top, and then right after that finishing up the video, right? And then this is the most, I mean, this is the article which I wanted to point out right here. I mean, is the this one is the USD getting stronger, yeah? And it's this article right here, also posted, let's say, on April 13th, in which I'm actually explaining, let's say, for instance, a possible bullish outcome, right? For us to be able to complete this entire corrective pattern, right? And let's say, I mean, all these followed up with some um, updates on Euro USD and possible scenarios on the British pound, of course, at the actual top right there, on the USD JPY, squeezing up in this rising wedge, on the USD Swiss franc, basically pointing up towards a possible consolidation, and then another possible bullish run, and um, very good spot, I would say. I mean, on this rising wedge ending diagonal right here for the NZD USD for a possible bearish scenario right there on the downside. And then, of course, the gold, yeah, XAU USD, again, expecting consolidation right here, and then further possible downside. XAG, which honestly was a disappointment. Actually, it was a bust. So far, it's actually the only one that surprised me. I'm not sure if I'm the only one that's surprised, but anyhow. And the crude oil, which uh, which was basically explained right here at this fibs. Okay, so let's go on the charts. So just to update on my daily picture right here on the daily chart on the dollar index, I'm viewing this as an AB primary, and then 1, 2, free with an extension, the free intermediate free red, and then correction for intermediate, and then the fifth intermediate leg with basically within the primary C. And we are left, basically in my personal view, we're left with one more leg, possible leg on the downside in order to complete this entire ABC primary scale turquoise, right? So what we have here is we have 1, 2, 3, and then this consolidation. So this consolidation, this corrective structure is complex. It's a double free. It's a complex corrective structure right here, which I'm viewing like this possibility. Hence the reason why I'm interested to monitor it at this fibs. Yeah, also this previous bottom. So hence the reason for this red box right here. I believe this could be a point of interest. So if I were to basically zoom into the 2-hour chart right here, you can actually see the structure. And um, how I'm labeling this structure is as an expanded flat right here in this WX with a false breakout. Yeah, so we have one structure right here, another structure right here with a triangle in the B. So we have WX and then WX ABC. That would be the scenario. That would be the preferred scenario in a double free for us to for me to be able to label all this I mean all these pieces right here. So I'm gonna zoom in and I'm gonna do some quick technicals right here. Now uh, all these tops, all these bottoms, they were practically seen by myself. You can actually see it, see that in the video which I posted for showcase purpose. So right, what's basically next? Now my main now that this move has indeed started, yeah. My main focus for the dollar index would be the following one. From W2X, measuring with the Fibonacci extensions, I would be mostly paying attention if we would be able to hit this 161.8, 150%, but also my main interest is this 50% right here. Not to mention the 100% from W and X, which would be the Fibonacci extension to determine minute Y, this pink Y right here. So let's clean up a little bit, and then let's zoom into this final piece, right? So let's see what we let's see what I have here. Now, as you can see, I'm labeling the minute Y in a rising channel, yeah, which is practically almost, let's say, determining the structure. Notice that this piece has bounced from the, bounced from the 61.8 extension, right? From W and X, we have a 61.8 extension, so it's only normal. And I don't know yet if this would decide to break out and go directly for the 100%, or basically start consolidating in this B wave, yeah, in this piece right here. The way the structure looks, I would be, because I would be inclining towards an ABC move like this, yeah, with this B formed out of three legs right here in a structure. Regardless what the structure is, I would like to see, personally, I would like to see a consolidation. Not to mention, after of course a bearish divergence, possibly popping up right here on this rising volumes. Now remember, my view is still, as per the previous videos, is still 91.40 before further downside, right? That doesn't mean that um, I'm not, I'm not. My main focus would not be the B wave, to be honest with you. My main focus would be to finalize that swing on the upside, so I can basically tag this as a complete corrective structure. In a 1, 2, 3. It's not a 1, 2, 3, of course, it's a WXY. The reason why I'm labeling this as a WXY in a complex correction, double free within, multiples within multiples, is because we already have a complex structure here. We have a triangle right here. We have a complex structure right here. Um, this rally, I would personally expect a consolidation. Now, according to how the next consolidation would look, if it's shallow, short-lived, then of course I expect one more upside and that's it. If it's not and it keeps on becoming a little bit more complex, then this would be in play for the corrective piece, paving the way for a possible bullish setup, thus terminating the entire ABC, thus terminating the Y within the Y, and also this red primary 4. So the complete corrective structure would finalize. Now moving on the Euro USD, let's see how this views and those articles turned out to, help you all, because that's basically the point of it. As I said, what's the sense, what's the point of making an analysis if it doesn't work out? So I say this translates, and visually I will display how these things actually played out. Yeah, on March 27th. First bearish view right here on the downside, first leg. Yeah, so it went deep in the on the bearish side. Then also I was also ready here with the possible reversal for the corrective. Yeah, and we can actually see how it went on the upside right here, euro dollar. This is the euro dollar on the 2-hour chart, but I'm sure you can see it. Then another post for the bearish side, euro USD. And if we can actually see how it really touched, the levels in focus here, 1.24140, then immediately retraced on the downside right there. So pretty pretty accurate, I would say. Moving on, pound dollar right here. Let's say only had this bearish view on it, yeah. And then we go on April 13th when the particle was posted. This uh, enormous downtrend. I mean, huge outcome. As for the USD JPY, still on April 13th, you can see the bullish outcome right here on this rising wedge, and we can see how it's how it's unfolding. Yeah. Now on the USD Swiss, somewhere around here. Yeah. the USD Swiss here, we can actually see that I was expecting a possible, completion of this consolidation, corrective structure, and then further upside. And there we go. Now on the NZD USD, this is a bit impressive, I would say, even for me. So right here, I was actually pointing out within this whole piece that a rising wedge and ending diagonal could be in play for this CE. Therefore, this outcome and pretty deep, I would say. NZD USD really started falling. Moving on, let's say the XAU USD gold, yeah, on March 27th on these points right here, this point, yeah, and we can see how it unfolded. Now, following up on the retracement, obviously I April 6th right here basically pointed out towards the possible, possible retracement towards the upside, but I was also prepared for the bearish outcome on April 13th, of course, when the articles were indeed posted, and we can see how it actually started unfolding on the downside. Now, silver, for instance, this is a different story because this structure is quite complex, I would tell you. This entire piece right here, the way it's located and all the move on the upside is pretty, you know, has been a complete surprise even for me. But it happens. That's why you, that's what the market will actually give us. So this is actually the only one which disappointed, but it's okay. Now moving on to crude oil. On this corrective piece, and also let's say for instance on this previously posted view, yeah, we can see that it's already starting to react in this box right here. So what I would expect for crude oil would be basically to finalize this ending diagonal type of scenario with another free wave move, so we can actually finalize the entire piece and basically hit this fibs, right? That's that's basically the preferred scenario on US soil now. That's pretty much what I wanted to point you guys out on now. Further on, let's say for instance, on May 4th, I will be hosting a live trading webinar on the NFP on the non-farm payroll. It's also the Star Wars International Day, so basically, the guys from marketing department prepared this awesome invitation for you guys. So if you do want to join me on the NFP webinar, be my guest. This is basically where you need to go. Yeah, you can find it on the Orbex blog. That's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. And as I like to say to all my traders, until next time, stay in the green and many pips ahead.